Any injury updates?
No, everybody's healthy. Everybody's ready to roll.
What did you see in terms of the difference, first half, second half, in defending John Wall in the last meeting with these guys?
Well, the thing about it, he is so prolific at home as far as getting to the paint and driving. That's something we really had a major emphasis on. And again, he's a guy that you only try to slow down. You're not going to stop. He is so physically gifted with his speed. He's one of the fastest guys. He and Westbrook in the league with the ball. So you've got to really have an emphasis on 5 men trying to stop him, especially in transition. And also in the half-court play, you've got to have 2.5 men trying to slow him down from getting to the paint because it's physically impossible to do it one-on-one.
You said your team is maybe a little bit guilty of trying to feel yourself into games and maybe not starting with the same intensity that you're finishing. Is that one of your focuses here down the stretch?
Yeah, it is. And you know, it's 6 one way, half a dozen other. The other part of it is I like the grind out. I like the comeback, the stick with it, but it's a hard way to live. You know, I've been with teams that's done it both ways. Come out to fast starts, but then kind of wilt at the end. So I'm trying to build that culture, and I think we will. But I think our DNA, our personality, is slower starts and harder finishes. And as long as we continue to finish that way, you know, it's not as dire. And I don't want to overemphasize it, overreact, or whatever. But keep preaching, keep talking about, you know, getting out to a quicker start.
Could it be a product of sort of wanting to play the right way, wanting to get everybody involved, and that has your guys
That has
passive?
something to do with it, Eric. That is a good point. You know, DeMar comes out. You know, Michael Jordan used to do that first quarter, get everybody else involved, get them touches. But, you know, I can understand that on the offensive end. But on the defensive end, you know, you can't feel your way in. You got to make them feel you at the beginning of the game.
When have you seen that DNA change, or how much have you seen that DNA change from?
Where you been? Where you been?
Taking vacation, you know. That's
all right.
How much has that DNA changed from the start of the season? Like this looks like a team now that goes into games thinking it can win, rather than going to games thinking, "Oh man, we'll be lucky if we can win."
If they're listening to me, they don't. You know, they're not overconfident because we need to have a healthy dose of underdog mentality, and that's what's got us to this point. You know, I think that could be some of it, but you don't want to going in there with a lack of confidence. I think having confidence is very important, but you don't want to be overconfident. And I don't think our guys are overconfident going into games. And again, I think we're making too big a thing about slow starts. You know, a lot of teams are scoring. You know, around the league, nobody's blazing it up in the first quarter. So we got to just continue to monitor it. I'm not going to overreact to it just yet, but we just got to have a mindset of coming out, playing hard.
6 games now, holding teams under 95 points. Defensively, is this team where you want them at this point in the season?
No. We still have a lot of mistakes being made and still got to continue to prove and keep an emphasis on defense. We're getting better. We're much better. But like everything else, Josh, we're still growing. We still are getting better, improving. Rebounding is a concern against this team. I think we gave up 17, 18 offensive rebounds the last game. You can't live that way. So we're growing in certain areas, you know, 2 steps ahead, 1 step back. 2 steps ahead in one area, 1 step back in another area. So we got to get worse, consistent in all areas of defense, whether it's pick and roll, post defense, transition defense, challenging shots, boxing out. You know, that's when you're a solid defensive team.
Their record is not a good one without Nene in the lineup. How do they change without his presence?
Well, they're a better defensive team with him in there, and they have a low post presence. But with that said, Gortat is a very effective low post player also. He does a good job. For whatever reason, Booker always plays well against us in the post. So they have capable backups. We're not going in saying, oh, they're a lesser team than with Nene out, because they're still very capable of still being an inside-out team.